What's up, guys? My name is Juan, and you're watching my channel, BlueprintPC. So today's video, you probably kind of figured out the thumbnail, is about the Ryzen 3 3100. Now, we're going to talk about its current pricing and if it's still worth the buy even at the higher pricing. So, let's find out. So to start off, it's a 4-core, 8-thread processor with a base clock of 3.6 and a boost clock of 3.9. And all in all, that's pretty darn good. And you'd think, hey, cool beans, decent little gaming processor. And this is Zen 2. It's part of the Ryzen 3000 series, not like the 3200 and 3400G, which are technically Zen Plus. This is actually Zen 2. I did, unfortunately, pick up mine back when they first came out around that time period, and I paid right around retail for it, give or take 10 bucks, I think. Because I also scored a 3300X around the same time period for give or take 10 bucks. One of them I think I paid retail for. This may have been it. But we're talking about what you get for this and, you know, if it's still worth it. So to start off, let's crack the box open really quick. This is not going to be a fancy unboxing or anything of that nature. I'm just going to use my crappy knife here because my good one is downstairs and I was just too lazy to go grab it. And we're going to open it up. Ooh. All forceful like. Little sticker. The chip itself. Your AMD Certificate of Authenticity, along with your installation instructions and of that nature. Ooh. Oh, a little foam bottom piece, which is, I guess, nice for shipping purposes. Talks about something being Ryzen 3000 desktop ready. Yeah, talking about motherboard compatibility, stuff like that. The other thing you get is they've shrunk their boxing down compared to the old ones, which are a lot fatter. You do get your cooler, which is kind of stupid how they put it in there. But this little guy right here, low profile, which is nice for ITX builds, things of that nature. And this is sufficient for the processor, so it does save you some money in that aspect that you don't have to buy a cooler in order to do that. And this is just stupid, the way that's boxed. But don't mind my little negative Nancy-ness right there. I'm going to deal with that later. So this is what you're paying your money for primarily. This is your Ryzen 3100, and overall, it's a pretty decent processor, and it will handle a lot of decent graphics cards. On these, you could easily probably get up to a 2070 Super. You probably get a 3060 Ti, let's call it. That's probably fair to say what you'd be able to reasonably use on this processor. Now, when these came out, they're about 100 bucks MSRP. That's what AMD released it at, so whether you call it $99.99 or $100, whatever it is. I've got a few examples of what it's currently going at. So on Amazon, it's $181.99, almost double the price. Best Buy does show it at $99, but it's sold out. No kidding. You can get it on Newegg for $174.99. A little cheaper than Amazon. And then B&H has it listed for $129.99, currently out of stock, but says more on the way. When these were 100 bucks, totally worth it. They sold out for a reason. I know a lot of people call it the paper launch, but they were available. There was many opportunities to buy them. It just, you had to be aggressive in watching for availability. And then if you see it, buy it. Don't debate it, just buy it. And that's what I did and how I got it. I saw it, I'm like, crap, buy. I didn't want to spend the money on it necessarily right then and there, but I'm like, yoink, got it. At the new elevated pricing, it's hard to say if it's still worth it because it really just depends. If you're trying to save every ounce and penny you can on a build, and if you're going to pay, I mean, reasonably, let's call it Newegg, that's probably the more realistic average price that I've seen it for, is about $1.75. It's still a good processor for that price range. Is it overpriced? Yes. Will it do the job you need it to do? Yes. Will it be good? Yes. You're not going to be able to video edit really well on this. Is it possible? Yes, you can. Streaming? Yes, you can do it. It's not going to be ideal. but it can't do it. You typically want to have 6 or more cores. And that kind of gets me into this. If you're spending 175 bucks on this and you have the budget room, buy a 3600 or a 3600X, because those are going right around 200 to 220-ish, depending on where you buy it from, whether it's Amazon, Newegg. If you have a Micro Center nearby, you'll get those around that ballpark as well. And they actually tend to be more in stock for the 3600 and the 3600X variant. I think you can still probably also yoink some of the 3600 XTs, but if you have the extra money, buy those, because then you're getting 6 cores, 12 threads. If you're absolutely strapped for cash and you need to squeeze every last dime out of, you know, your budget total, this is still a good option. I don't want to say you should pay more than the $99 retail, but if you've got everything else you need and all you need is a processor, it's still not a bad processor, because, you know, it's going to do the job. Now, if you're willing to go Intel, you can buy a 10100. It's very, very competitive when it comes to processor performance-wise, and price-wise, they're about 100 to 120 bucks. So they're actually what these things should be paying for. And the motherboards for those aren't too bad either, because Intel's notorious for having more expensive motherboards. AMD's are starting to get there, but for a 10100, you can buy a basic motherboard that's going to meet your minimum needs that you have, and you might actually be able to squeak by and spend, you know, under 250 bucks for a board and a processor, versus this, we're going to spend almost 200 for the processor itself. So if you really have to have AMD, it's still worth it to buy it at that price. And if you're willing to go Intel, you can buy a 10100 and have a good experience and save a few bucks. Now, one last little quick tip thing. Yes, you can still find 3400Gs for about $150. Best Buy tends to have them in stock on a regular basis. They go in and out of sold out. But the performance level is way different. These are still significantly faster than the 3400G. And that's what I have in this guy. And I know the 3400G is still a great processor in its own right, but these are a lot faster. So, you know, it's something to consider. That's 150 bucks. I think for 25 bucks more, this is a better buy. And if you got another 25 bucks on top of that, 3600 is a better buy. But guys, by all means, let me know what you think about this video. It was quick, it was impromptu. Please drop a comment in the comments and let me know what you think. And outside of that, I will catch you guys in the next one.